Just start. That's the key. That's the message that maybe you need to hear right now. And it's super simple, but I promise you, if you watch this video, it will help you to actually make the choice to start, which will literally put you on a new timeline. The thing that's keeping you in the reality that you are currently in is the belief, the story, and the energy of waiting. The energy of waiting. Maybe there's an energy of I'm waiting till I have it all figured out. I'm waiting till I'm a little bit more healed. I'm waiting until the cat gets out of the frame. I'm waiting until whatever. Any time we are saying we are waiting, that is a whole reality in of itself. The reality of waiting is very different than the reality of being. Back in 2017, before I made the choice, I started making videos every single day on YouTube. I felt stuck in a reality where I was working a 9-to-5 job I hated. I felt stuck in a reality where I had all these blocks. Segment, come on, bro. Thank you. I felt stuck. And the reason was I was believing a story that was telling me not to start. That's it. I just got done doing this like 5-day challenge with my buddy Victor where we help people go full time and like really take the plunge into making content and stuff. And the reason I share that with you is because the biggest block people have and the thing that like transformed the most amount of people is just fucking starting. That's it. You're in the reality of waiting, and the reality of waiting feels very safe. It feels very comfortable, even if you don't like that reality, by the way. For a long time, I was in that selling those women's shoes. I didn't like it. I wasn't enjoying it, but it felt very familiar. It felt very comfortable. And I was so used to it. So I would be in it. I would be complaining to my coworkers. I would be talking about all the corporate politics bullshit. At one point, we were trying, like, all of us there were trying to get them to bring in a union because we were treated so shittily or whatever. And then there was this whole thing. It was a whole, like, month process. We ended up not getting that, by the way, by one vote. One vote. But then I ended up leaving like a year later anyways. But I was tired of dealing with all the BS. And I thought my way out of it is I'll just change this instead of just freaking leaving. And instead of just going and deciding to fucking start. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I think right now in the collective, there are so many people that have an amazing gift, have an amazing ability, have an amazing song inside, have an amazing gift or modality or something to share with the world, but aren't because they simply haven't started. And it could also be, by the way, let me also say this, there's a belief that like, the thing is the more reps you put in, the more you do anything, the better you get. I am like able to easily make YouTube videos now because I made 1,700 videos in the past. I put in reps. And when I put in reps, I got better. I got better. I got better. When I started on YouTube in 2017, I sucked at making videos. You can go back and you can watch the videos. I just script on a window. It was like a cringy video to even watch. It's hard for me to even watch those old videos. But I leave them up so that you start. And then that puts you on a new timeline. And then what happened is I made a video and it kind of sucked. And then I made another video and it kind of sucked. And I made another video and it started getting a little bit better. And then I made another video. And then eventually I was out of the frame. However, I then eventually made like 20, 30 videos and I kept getting a little bit better, a little bit better. I had the intention of adding value out into the world, like helping people. And eventually a video started to get more views and like the law of attraction videos I was making. I was first making videos about habits. Then I was making videos about like alkaline water at one point. I made a video about alkaline water and then I was making videos about all this different shit. And what ended up happening is I started making LOA videos. And from experimenting, because I fucking started, I then got new feedback. And then I started committing more to that because I saw people wanted more of that. But I have all these blocks come up. It's like, well, Aaron, you live at your dad's house. You don't live in like some baller crib. How can you share with people how to use the law of attraction if you don't have every little area of your life figured out? You want to know what? You want to know why? Because to share your gift, to share your message, and to fucking start, you don't have to have it all figured out. In fact, a lot of times it helps to just be a couple steps ahead, or a couple little things that you share from your own experience. Selling women's shoes, I worked a commission job. I was able to share that when I am like selling shoes, if I have the intention of adding value, I do better than when I have the intention of me making money. And I was able to apply that and share that in videos. Because that's where I was selling women's shoes, like at a commission job. So I could share what I'm learning here. You can share in your life what you're learning. You could document your experience. And this isn't just for people that want to be content creators. This is like, you can apply this towards anything. You may think to be in the perfect relationship, you're like, I don't have all my blocks healed. I haven't healed every little intimacy block I've ever had. I haven't done this or that, so therefore I shouldn't date. When instead what you could do is maybe starting is like actually expressing your real emotions. You do that with your family. Do that with your friends. Segment loves the camera, by the way. And by doing that, by making the choice to start, you literally put yourself on a new timeline. Come on, bro. I need you to chill out. He really likes the camera. He likes to like put his chin on it and like use it as a... Okay, bro. I'm sorry. Starting. Even segment. He can't wait to get on camera. Okay? He's like, I'm going to start. He's like, I'm going to ride the wave of this lesson and I'm going to start. And he's putting himself out there. You see? So if you're listening to this video and there's something that you kind of know that you feel somewhat inspired by to do, or maybe there's like a little bit of nervousness even, and realize what nervousness is. Nervousness is the energy of excitement. Anxiety and nervousness is the energy of excitement that's being filtered through a negative definition. You could also say nervousness and anxiety is excitement without the breath. And when you realize that becomes a lot more clear. Because it's, I just got to fucking breathe. I just got done doing a 4-day somatic release breathwork certification thing that I just got done doing. So I'm like going to be doing like actual, my 21-day challenges that I do online that I've had over 20,000 people go through. Always the most powerful day is the breathwork day. And I always bring in people to like facilitate the breathwork. And recently I realized, you know what? I'm going to start and I'm going to get certified in this breathwork. It's going to be 4 days of my life where I haven't made a video in like literally a week or two because I've been prepping for this training. And through it, I went through so much healing within myself. A lot of what holds us back too is the energy inside of us of the blocks that we have of different times in our past where we held on to energy that we didn't allow to fully express. The soma is the body. And what happens is when we're growing up, we have these different things that happen that we then hold on to inside of our body. And we don't allow ourselves to fully, like when something happens to a toddler, they fully express themselves, right? They'll scream, they'll yell, they'll say no. Temper tantrum, then they'll sometimes just take a nap because they've released that energy. And what happens is the thing that sometimes stops us from taking action is that we're holding on to energy that was never expressed. Sometimes anger, sometimes sadness. I cried more in the last 3 days than I've ever cried in my life. I used to have a story like I just don't cry, but really it was pent up energy from childhood where I didn't let myself feel. And when you allow yourself and you begin to feel, you realize it's okay to feel, and you realize it's okay to express yourself, and you release that energy, you then become more free. So this is something that has completely shifted my life and my energy. I don't know if you can feel it, but if you can feel the difference in my energy, why don't you just like this video or something. Let me know if you feel the energy is just a little bit different than the usual videos. The thing that will change your life more than anything else, and I've seen it so many times over the last 2 years, is when I tell people and I really express it to them to start, and they do it, they start, it changes their timeline. It changes their reality. And there's something that you can begin to start doing. And maybe that's making videos, maybe not. Maybe it's opening up your heart. Maybe it's expressing the real you more. Maybe there's some job that you've never thought you were worthy of or something. And you can apply for it. You'd be surprised what happens when you start taking action. For a long time, things like 2017, before I made videos, I was manifesting by thinking better thoughts, by visualizing what I want. I had all these grand ideas of how I'm going to create my dream reality. And it was all mental. I wasn't actually being it. And what I've learned is that the beingness of it is also the action of starting. And when I committed to the daily videos, that literally shifted my timeline, and then I became a different version of myself. I became a better speaker. I became a better communicator through reps. That's it. It's not because I have some special formula. It's not because I have some special innate ability I was born with. Back in freshman year of high school, I got in front of a group for a group project. I got in front of a group of 30 kids to give a presentation that I didn't really prep on. And I froze. I don't even remember what happened. I just froze. I got up there, I started speaking, and I just looked around at everyone, and I just froze, deer in headlights. And then, I don't even remember what happened afterwards, but I remember that moment was so embarrassing, so nerve-wracking to me. I made the choice. I'm going to conquer this fear. I'm going to get into forensics debate. I literally only joined forensics debate because I knew that would help me conquer the fear of public speaking. So I did forensics debate in high school, and I fell in love with it. And I started to, at the first couple of competitions, is a competitional thing. First couple competitions I did, I sucked. I was like, one time I would go in and I would like prepare a certain way, but then like I just didn't do that well. The second time I went, I remember I was in a partner debate, and I was with someone else. I was my partner, like for that. It was called public forum debate. And I did this thing where the people we were going against were these two kids that were like yelling, "It is resolved that X, Y, Z," and they were just screaming. And then when my friend and I went up, we just started screaming too. And this judge was like a parrot. He's like, "What the hell is this kid screaming at me for?" But that's what we were learning. We were just doing that kind of stuff. And then eventually I applied band. I was a band nerd in high school. Played trombone. And I knew how to read sheet music. And I knew that there were certain times that you could like accentuate and get louder. It's called a crescendo. And sometimes you could pull it back a little bit. And sometimes you could have longer, like vibrato sounds with your voice. And sometimes you could do very clear like this. It'd be very staccato. And I started applying that towards speaking. And as I started to do that, I started to communicate better. I started to notice that people were affected more. And I started to win. And that changed my sense of, I then took on this new identity. Like I'm a good speaker. And I would prep like crazy. I remember I would like take a whole month. Every month the topics would change that we'd be debating at these tournaments. I do more prep than everyone else because I also had no life other than that. I wasn't allowed to have friends or anything. So everything went to forensics debate. But it changed my sense of identity. And it's because I committed to that. Even though you might have something you're fearful of. Fear is just trying to keep you where you are. It's a little mechanism. And the key to really creating your dream life is to fucking start. Stop waiting. Become aware of those stories. Become aware of the belief. A lot of times also it's a self-worthiness thing. We don't believe we're worthy of things. But that's just because there was a certain time in the past something happened. We held it inside of our body. We held this meaning. And then we only took action and thought, felt, acted in equal to what we believed we deserve. The key is releasing. It's releasing that energy, releasing that emotion, allowing yourself to be this new version of you, knowing also that every moment you're a new you. So quantum physics shows us every moment you are a new you. If we continue to feel stuck, it's because we're like tied to this belief in the story that waiting. Thoughts, feelings, actions the same over and over and over again, instead of making the choice to start. Literally put yourself on a new timeline, and that's how you get through the blocks. You don't get through the blocks and then jump in. You jump in and then you get over the blocks. Does that make sense? That's what anything in my life that has completely transformed my life is because I just started. And if you want to learn, by the way, the step-by-step process that I use to go from the vibration of waiting into being, there's this free PDF and training video that shows you something called the MAP, the magnetic activation process. For activating this energy, making starting way easier, you just go to aarondowdy.com/map, M-A-P, or click the link in the description box below. And if you want a video that's going to show you step-by-step how to create your dream reality in the fastest and easiest way possible, this video is one of my most popular videos right here.
In this video, I'm gonna show you step by step how to create your dream life. I'm gonna share with you and condense 12 years of research of me studying this and applying it. I myself have created my dream life from working a 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes over the last